All right, you Muay Thai lovers, I've got the perfect orgeat recipe for you today. I stumbled across it on Make and Drink. That's another YouTube channel. The host is called Derek. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. His channel is fantastic, all about tiki cocktails. I slightly tweaked his recipe. So I've used his recipe for inspiration, and the main thing I've changed is the method. If you can't be bothered putting this on the cooktop like I'm going to do today, you can simply put the exact ingredients that I leave in the description below into a blender, blend it all up, and you're good to go. But I did a side-by-side, I did a comparison, and I do prefer this method. I think by heating up the almond concentrate, it sort of opens up the aromatics and enhances the flavor a little bit. And it will most likely, I say most likely because I'm not 100% certain, but it will most likely extend the shelf life. The reason being is everything gets above 70 odd degrees and it starts to pasteurize and kill off bacteria. But let's get onto the recipe. Let's get straight into it. The reason Derek made this was he came across for the first time a nut or an almond concentrate for the first time. And he thought it would be really interesting to try that in an orgeat, and it worked really well. It's fantastic. This is an excellent product. All you have to do is keep it in a cool, dry place. It doesn't have to be refrigerated, and it's literally just almonds blended up, blitzed up into like a paste. Keep in mind with this particular bag and anything in a jar, you're gonna get some separation. So you're gonna get some oil up top. So I've already mixed all this through and made sure that it's all blended together, because otherwise if you're gonna pour this out, you're just gonna get straight oil. I'll also leave a couple of links in the description below for where you can find these concentrates. The particular brand that Derek used on his channel, I can't get in Australia. This one here is made in Australia, but I'm 99% sure it's available in America too. So check out the description and I'll do a little bit more research on where you can buy stuff. The only difference with this is I'm using a little bit more of the concentrate. In Derek's video, he used 3 tablespoons, but he said he has tried doing it with up to 6. So you can vary it, but I'm gonna do it with 4. Now the reason I've done it with 4 is because then it just makes scaling the recipe back incredibly easy. So it's easy for you guys if you want to do a small batch. As you can see, it's nice and runny. Probably want another spoon to be able to take all the leftover out of the measuring spoon, because it's a bit stuck in there. So this stuff was really inexpensive, so I highly suggest grabbing some of this, especially if you're using orgeat or making Mai Tais all the time. Just use your finger if you like, get it out, or a spoon. All right, I'm gonna turn the heat on, but I'm gonna keep it on really low. As I said, it's just blended almond paste, so it's got a lot of fat, a lot of oil in there. And then to that, I'm going to add 1 cup of water. Now the whole point of this product is so that you can make your own almond milk at home. And this is literally it, just adding almond paste to water, stirring it through, not on the stovetop, just giving it a blitz in the blender, and you've got your own almond milk to make your own coffees at home. So you want to keep this on a low heat, just continually stir, mix it through. One thing that Derek did complain about is the finished orgeat when it's blended. Its texture, it's a little bit grainy. I didn't mind it. I did a side-by-side comparison. You can filter it, and if you do filter it, you want to do it before adding the sugar. Once you've made that almond milk, you can either use a coffee filter, a nut milk bag, or cheesecloth. It's going to be very slow. I tested it out with this, and it was extremely slow because this is really quite fine paste. Slowly getting up to temp. So while it's still heating up, next ingredient, sugar. I feel like with some people that are just getting started with cocktails, they're really quite intimidated with making their own syrups at home, but they're so incredibly easy. So with this one, we're doing a 2-to-1 syrup. So 2 parts sugar to 1 part water. This is going to increase the shelf life. Anytime I make a syrup, the first question I get asked is, how long is that going to last? With a 2-to-1 syrup, it's going to last up to 6 months. And talking about shelf life, make sure you sterilize your equipment, especially the bottle that you're going to store it in. And that'll ensure you get the most shelf life possible. So as I said in the beginning, heating it up is going to extract the aromas, get more flavor out of it, and also extend the shelf life by pasteurizing the ingredients. So you add the sugar, 2 cups. I've only got it on really low, so it's taking a little while to heat up. If you're looking for some other cocktails to try with your newly made orgeat, check out the description below, and I'll leave a little ebook that you can download. Printable ebook with recommended recipes for orgeat. It smells incredible. I'm just going to give this a fine strain. As I said, if you want to give it a more thorough strain, then you can do so, of course. It's only captured a little bit. Most of it has dissolved into the drink itself, and I could have just poured it straight into this in the first place. I don't know why I'm transferring it. Now, of course, you've still got the orange blossom water and the rose water to add into it. I do feel like these are quite delicate, so therefore you do want to let your liquid cool first before adding them. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to add them straight away. So we're going to do half a teaspoon of orange blossom water. And again, I advise not to measure over the top, just in case you spill it. I'm being extra cautious. So orange blossom and rose water. Half teaspoon each. Almost perfect. A little bit extra means you've got a couple drinks in you, and you've got a full crew supply bottle of syrup in the fridge ready to go. I'll leave a link to their bottles so you can check them out. Available in the US. So a couple of things, a couple of reminders. This should last up to 6 months in the fridge. If you would prefer to, you can give it a light filtration by running through a coffee filter, cheesecloth, or a nut milk bag. I mean, you've got some chunks in there, you're gonna have a little bit of texture, little granules, but I'm sure they'll dissipate when you shake it throughout a drink. This is a very, very tasty orgeat recipe, so I highly recommend you trying it. Thanks again, Derek, for the inspiration for making this, and get straight into those Mai Tais. So make sure you check out the ebook in the description below so you can use this orgeat in those recipes, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Cheers.